So this is interesting. A Thai sex worker was attacked by a wife. Yeah, this happened. So apparently her husband was caught having extramarital sex with a Thai sex worker. And well, this is where I'll give you my opinion. I think the divorce papers should have been laid on the table as soon as she found out that her husband was having extramarital affair with any individual outside of her. And so, why this wife decided to take out her frustration on someone simply just doing their job? You know, universally, women can be their own worst critics. Let's rewind the tape here. This Thai sex worker is doing her job, making her money. And this wife has her line of profession. Okay. A lot of people have issues with people's line of profession. But was that worth her assaulting this woman over something that her husband did? Now, somebody said if she knew he was married, she deserved it. Well, following that approach to its logical conclusion, just about everybody who's ever been married should assault their mistress or the person that cheated. Remember they had that show on the television, Cheaters, where they had the hidden investigator watch and follow people who were cheating because their partners suspected it. They didn't know for sure, but they suspected it. And then at the end, they would be sitting in this like van, monitoring what was going on. They're like, he's going into the apartment, and the girlfriend or the wife is just sitting there steaming, really upset. And then they wait till the two of them come out, and then the guy jumps out of the van. He's like, I'm such and such, and I'm with Cheaters, and he sticks a microphone up in your face, and then all these cameras start appearing. You're like, what the hell? And then you see your partner running up, screaming at you. So many people. You know, I thought I did a Would You Rather once. Remember the guy from Dateline who would bust people who were trying to meet with underage minors? I did a Would You Rather. Would you rather be busted by the Dateline guy or Cheaters? Everybody said Cheaters, but I don't know. Because you all remember some of those partners, they would beat the person. They'd assault their partner and the other person. They would get into street brawls right there in front of the cameras. So that's sort of kind of what happened with this Thai worker. I mean, this woman was getting beat to a pulp by the wife. And really the only person that walks away scot-free is the cheater, right? He's not being assaulted. And somebody said it takes two to tango. But here's the thing. Why I'm not upset with the profession so much. Because that's one outlet. If it wouldn't have been that person, he would have found a different person. So the wife taking out her frustration on this woman because she was a sex worker in particular, I found that to be not the right or proper course of action. Let's say this dude has a job. Do you think everyone who knows that he's married at his job would care if he started an affair? I think the number one place where people cheat on their spouses is with their co-workers at work. Yeah, somebody said it seemed like she was really taking out all of her frustration on her because that she was a sex worker. Yeah, I think there was definitely some jealousy and envy there. But that's why I said sometimes women can be their own worst critics. Because this woman, she doesn't care if you're married and come to her services. She doesn't care if you're single. She doesn't care if you're in a relationship. She provides a service. And you pay for it. That's it. Yeah, a lot of women have problems with women who are sex workers, yes. A lot of women have problems with those type of women. A lot of it arises out of jealousy, resentment that they feel as though it's something beneath women. But at the end of the day, all genders, regardless of what you consider yourself, have procreation. And so this animus that women get towards other women who provide that service, you all, even in 2023, even in Thailand, is pretty brutal. Yeah. She made the woman apologize and said that she would never sleep with her husband again. Maybe, somebody said maybe this is a repeat thing. It could be. But even if that's the case, even more so, why is she not beating her husband? Slashing his tires, draining his bank account, ruining him his good name at work? Why is she taking out all of her frustration on the woman he's cheating with at her place of employment? Can you imagine if customers had walked in and seen this take place? They would have walked right out. They wouldn't have known what to think. So I'm talking about this because I hope it doesn't become a trend in Thailand or anywhere else for that matter. People work a lot of professions that they're not necessarily proud of or particularly care for. Men, women, non-binary, transgender, whatever. And so for this woman to be attacked at her place of employment for simply doing her job, she didn't use telepathy to make this woman's husband come into her place of employment and utilize her. He willfully chose to do that. Because that's another angle that we can look at this through. Women oftentimes, when their husbands or their boyfriends are caught cheating with a particular woman, vilify the other woman in particular, not their partner. It's the how dare she, this bitch kind of mentality. All solidarity with the gender and the understanding of what comes with being a woman goes straight out the window. I'm telling you, you look at that video in Thailand and you tell me what you see. It was like the WWE, you know. She was beating her, I think, with a shoe. And the woman was saying, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. She was putting her hands up, defending herself, and she was pulling her hair, punching and kicking her. Boy, oh boy. No, I had a friend tell me that this person, she was engaged to a person, and she found out he was cheating on her. Yeah, she said she took some scissors. We're going to have to put the content moderator to work here. We're not going to make this one for children. She took some scissors and made sure that it wouldn't work anymore. Now, there was a little bit more to the story about who the individual was cheating with and whether or not the person was of age and whether or not the person got pregnant that he was cheating with. But yeah, she took her frustration out on him. This other woman in Thailand, she was like, no, the real culprit is this woman who's doing her job. I did say it was typical of something you would see in America, but it didn't happen in my country. It happened in Thailand. Where, to be honest with you, that service is more frequent and available. So that's why when I saw this video, I was a little bit surprised too. But apparently this woman had had enough. So already a seedy and dangerous profession. Having animus thrown your way towards your profession by other women because they look down or turn their nose up towards you for making ends meet in a society that's patriarchal as fuck. It's kind of really tragic and sad, to say the least. Should the woman sue for assault? I don't know what Thailand's laws are concerning assault and battery, but if they had such laws, I would say yes, she should. She didn't do anything technically illegal. And yet she was assaulted at her place of work. So yeah, if it were me, I would sue. Yeah, I would definitely press charges. She's just doing her job. She saw him as a client just like everybody else that she's seen. And so yeah, that was horrible. Absolutely horrible. And that wife, she ought to be ashamed of herself. Because she'll take out her frustration on the person who she's not even married to. She's not married to the sex worker. She's married to her husband who's cheating on her with a Thai sex worker. So, I think sometimes people even forget that point. They get more upset about the person who their partner is cheating with than at their partner for cheating in the first place. You saw it in the cheaters. It would be 50-50. Sometimes the partner would attack their actual partner, and then sometimes the partner would go after the person who he or she was cheating with. Like they were in a relationship. I'd be like, whoa, lady. I just provided the service. It's your bitch ass partner that's cheated with me. What am I missing here? Yes. Frustration plays a huge role in this. Absolutely. But you have to remember who you're actually frustrated at. Who actually broke the commitment. Not the person they broke the commitment with, because they could have been anyone. Yes, that's true. Somebody brought that up, and I did want to somewhat agree with it. When a woman's partner cheats with another woman, they automatically become insecure. Because oftentimes guys will tend to cheat with women who are younger, and so that plays into the insecurity of women. Yes, that's true, and that's a valid point. Thank you for bringing that up. But still, you all, it's not the individual that they cheat with. I know that's hard to wrap your mind around, but it's them as the individual. They're the cheater. Think of clever ways to take out your frustration on them. Yeah, he was Thai sex worker, I would probably get out of the business at that point. I'd be like, I don't know if it's worth it anymore. But then, you know, things happen. You have a rough day in the office. You still got to get up the next day and go to work. The rent has to be paid. Food has to be bought and eaten. And so that's why I was immediately empathetic of this woman who got attacked. Oh, I read the comments. I usually disregard the comments, but I wanted to see the level of ignorance that permeates our society. And generally in stories like these, that's on full display. And so most of the comments were giving kudos to the wife who assaulted this sex worker. Yeah, she had it coming to her. She shouldn't have cheated on your husband. They were cheering her on. And I was thinking to myself, look at this ignorance that's befallen our society. Now I'm like, okay, she beat up that one sex worker. Care to venture and guess how many sex workers work in Thailand? Quite a number. You really think her husband, who has that issue of cheating on her, will not cheat again because his wife beat up one person that he cheated with? So that's why I really don't put too much stock in like the general comments of people and their ignorance, because it's not thoroughly thought out. No, if she had did something like that to him, then I would have cheered it on, because that would have been the appropriate person to take out the frustration on. That's the person that made the commitment to you. And see, you all let a lot of these cheaters off the hook when you do that. When you do what that wife did to the Thai sex worker, you let your partner off the hook completely. Oh yeah, you might be upset with them, but you know, deep down inside, that any true cheater is going to feel like, whew, I dodged a bullet. She took out all her frustration on the other woman. I'm good. Yeah. So, I don't believe in physical violence at all, even in cheating circumstances. No, those papers on the table at 3 a.m. in the morning is good enough. If you have extra suitcases, you can pack all of his stuff in the suitcases, put it on the bed, or leave it by the door. Make sure you drain the bank account. Do it Silicon Valley Bank and First Republic style. Take everything. Leave nothing. Well, that's really the best revenge, you all. When you're out of there. When you're completely out. Because then that individual has to live with themselves. They can't channel their frustration, give excuses. So don't continue to let cheaters off the hook. Like like you all do so much in your society. And the insecurity component is always going to be present and afoot. It's just always going to be there. If you know that one particular gender judges based off of looks, then you as the other gender are automatically going to think the reason that that person cheated on me is because they must look better than me. And so that insecurity factor in women is always heightened. It's despicable that men do this, but they know. So yeah, that's Thai sex worker thing was, man. At first I thought it was a WWE fake, but everybody was saying, no, 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 this is real. This is real. This not the fake shit. Because you know on the internet there's a lot of fake shit. So I had to do research and vet it to make sure and it was real. That wife showed up at that woman's place of work and beat the shit out of her. Man, oh man. Whew. Yeah. Yeah, I'm telling you. No, she didn't deserve that happening to her. Absolutely not. Even if she knew he was married, no. Absolutely not. Whether she should have entertained that or not, that's a decision she'll have to live with. But when you all say people deserve to be abused, assaulted, harassed, and demeaned at their place of employment for doing their job, I would ask you, would you want to be abused for doing your job? Whatever it might be. Because someone, a third party person, is dissatisfied by what you did. And let me say something, that could happen to any of us. You work as a wedding photographer, and your wedding photos aren't up to snuff. And somebody comes to your place of business and assaults you because the wedding photos weren't good. I guarantee you then you won't be online commenting saying that you deserve to be assaulted. So that's why I say be careful with all of these people with these comments cheering that on. Because they wouldn't want to be assaulted at their place of employment for doing their job. And at the onset I said this woman did nothing illegal. It's perfectly legal in Thailand. Her bonehead husband couldn't keep his thing in his pants. That's it. Yeah, I hope that she wasn't seriously injured. Man, oh man. That type But debauchery and deplorable behavior is usually reserved for America. And to see it spreading in places like Thailand is really alarming and troubling, to say the least. And so that's why I wanted to share that with you all.